68, 67.
So today's session is going to be reasonably long in terms of helping you get a grip on the priority proposition for everyone. All right. So I would request you to not ask any questions in between. What we'll do is make a note of the question that you would want and to find out a little more about. And what I will do is that I will give you ample time at the end of the presentation to ask specific questions as well. Does that sound fair with everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So what happens is that I don't want the duration of the presentation to just bust. Like yesterday's KRA session was largely take you through the entire thing, but it went on for a very, very long time. And what we realize is a lot of
Friends, please mute yourselves. Please mute yourselves.
Yeah, thanks for that, Shashwati. So we'll try and keep that exactly during for the 2 hours that we want to spend with you guys, right? So if they are about 76 people, I'll wait for another 2 minutes and then we'll start. Okay, so let's begin. Good morning, everyone. I will request you to follow some pertinent protocols. Keep yourself compulsorily on mute, otherwise it suddenly gets disturbing. All right. I hope you can see my presentation deck. And okay, perfect. Let's start. What my objective today is to try and take you through a very deep dive into the priority proposition. Take you through each of those benefits that are there, and then obviously you meet a variety of customers. So how do you position these benefits to the customer is very, very crucial for your success. All right. So see, this is powerful in 2 ways. Number one is always remember, since you are a new relationship manager, you will be meeting a lot of your ETB ma'am book, possibly for the first time, right? Some of you have been interacting with, at least I know for sure that, quite a number of you have been interacting, already with a few customers of yours. But to make sure that you get success with each one, it's very important that you understand the benefits of the proposition and how you are going to position those benefits to a customer. So I will touch base on both the aspects. Second important element is that you have to constantly acquire new customers, right? So when you're going out in the market to meet new customers, you're always trying to prospect. Yeah. The customer has to know which particular benefit within the entire plethora of benefits that priority banking offers is most relevant for me. So your ability to probe, pinpoint, and find out, from the customer saying that these three benefits are most important. Then as a relationship manager, I would not spend my time harping on the 20 benefits, right? My focus will be while I'm acquiring, I'll focus on those three benefits only. Yeah. So it's crucial that the questions that you ask help you gauge what the customer might require. Number two is that, how your product is well positioned to take care of that particular need, right? So these are two important elements we'll touch. So the Priority Banking Program is a program which has, it provides our customers with the finest life experiences, and it's coupled along with the best of banking as well, right? So a combination of these two makes it a very, very powerful proposition, right? What are the finest life experiences and what is, excellence in banking is what I will take you through, right? So for our priority customers, it's just not a banking upgrade for them, right? It's a life upgrade for each one of them. Yeah. So that's the theme of the presentation. Yeah. Now, the priority program has three components of what we call as the finest life experiences, right? Within that space, what we decided is that through a lot of research, market research, when we reach out to customers, we do a lot of surveys, finding out, what really do a segment which earns between about 15 lakh to 45 lakhs. See, please make sure that you're making notes. This should not be an impromptu where I'm just going, one-way traffic, and at the end of the day, you are not able to absorb what I've, taught you, right? So a couple of important things, all right? So the income segment between about 15 lakh to 45 lakh is your target group, all right? Now this target group could be salaried, could be self-employed, could be a retiree, could be a homemaker, could be a self-employed professional, any of these combinations, yes? So to this audience, what is most appealing, right, are a couple of things basically. Number one is that they're looking for some lifestyle benefit. All right. They're looking for some travel benefits because they tend to travel a lot. Number three is definitely something to do with protecting themselves and their family. Right. So or probably this element took far more importance post-COVID. Right. So post-COVID, a lot more people started asking us saying that, do you have any kind of a protection plan which is strong enough, at a combination level is, economical enough for me to, or, what I mean by economical is affordable for me, right? So do you have something that you can help me with? So we said, yes, we'll try and push that also as a offering, right? And then, so this is the frills basically. And then there is a core. The core is your best of banking, right? Which means these are products, benefits, these are services which customers tend to utilize a little more often, right? Right. So this is how the entire program was structured. Right. Now, we'll cover the finest life experiences aspect of it. And here, let's touch base upon the offering that we have on the complimentary Epicure membership. Now here on the Epicure membership, we have a partnership with Taj Group, where Taj has another brand called Selections and Vivanta Hotels. So here, a customer of Priority Banking can enjoy discounts, right? Now there is a 25% discount on food and beverage. There's a 20% discount on spa treatments. There is a 20% discount on stays as well, right? But however, we did not want this benefit to be, open to everybody. Like say, for example, there are over 11 lakh priority customers. For 11 lakh priority customers, if I open the floodgates for everybody, then, the benefit will lose its importance. So who's most likely to use this benefit? People who typically already travel for holidays or, constantly are, like, for example, a businessman who travels to different cities so he may be wanting to utilize this benefit. Or let's understand I am a corporate employee. I work pretty hard, throughout the year, and then I want to take my mandatory leave, right? So in that mandatory leave, I would like to enjoy my vacation with my family and let them splurge basically, right? Let them have a great time as well, right? So for them, I would probably, choose the option of trying to avail a discount through a Epicure membership through Taj. Yeah. So these are the things that, you would want to look at. So to make it accessible only to the people who really deserve this proposition, right? Or want to maximize the benefit from this particular, offering that we have, what we did was we made it milestone based. What do I mean by milestone based? That the customer, when he opens the account, all right, exclude the month of account opening. In the next following 3 months, he has to do a minimum transaction of 5,000 each transaction, and he should do about 15 transactions in the following 3 months, which means roughly about 5 such transactions every month. Yeah, to be eligible for this program, right? So let me take a scenario. I open my account in the month of May. So I will exclude the account opening month, even if the account is opened on 31st or 30th May, for that matter of fact, no problem. I will exclude the month of account opening. The subsequent 3 months, which is June, July, and August, these are the 3 months where he will have to do these 15 transactions, and each transaction needs to be greater than 5,000 rupees. Yeah. So he can do many more transactions, but at least for qualification perspective, he has to minimum do these. Right. So as long as he's doing these transactions, then he'll become eligible for the Epicure membership. Now the Epicure membership has some other underlying conditions. Number one, the customer should be maintaining the required TRV, right? So the TRV for priority banking is a combination of a couple of things. If it is just savings account, then he needs to maintain 2 lakhs. If it is current plus savings account together, he needs to maintain 4 lakhs. If you add a fixed deposit to that, he needs to maintain 15 lakhs, right? So, and then there is 50 lakhs in case he has a demat account as well, which means that the customer will be able to get flexibility in terms of managing his balances, provided. So the example that I had given you was that if I maintain 15 lakhs as my fixed deposit, then I need not keep any money in my savings and current. Yeah, it can be zero, no problem. I'll enjoy all the benefits of priority banking, right? Similarly, if I have a demat account which has 50 lakhs in it, right, then I need not maintain any balances in my savings, my current. I will still enjoy all the benefits of priority banking. Similarly, if I open a current and savings, and this is a very important combination, and as we proceed, I'm going to talk a little more about it. That is where this becomes much more advantageous for the customer. Let's understand the customer he's a businessman, he opens a current account with us, and in which his AQB is already about 4-5 lakhs, for example, right? So 5 lakhs of AQB he's maintaining. Then my savings account need not have any balance, vice versa. Savings account has 5 lakh rupees. Current account, if it goes down to zero also, no problem, no charges will get levied, right? So this makes the proposition very, very powerful. Yeah. Now let's come back to, Epicure membership. So now here, as long as the customer is doing these 15 transactions in the subsequent 3 months from the month of account opening one, is maintaining the required TRV, which is the average quarterly balance should be greater than 2 lakh rupees, then he will be eligible to get this Epicure membership. Now, when he does these 15 transactions, what we will actually do is we will send him a notification both via email and SMS, letting him know that he is eligible for the offer, right? He's qualified for it and he's eligible for the offer. The customer needs to give his consent, which means he has to opt into this program. Right. Now, what do I mean by opt-in? So we will give the customer 30 days time in which he has to say that, yes, I am interested in the Epicure membership. If he does not respond to us within 30 days, we consider it or is deemed that he is not interested in the offer, right? So it's very, very important for you to understand some of these underlying conditions and terms of engagement. So when you meet a customer and you open a new account for the customer, let him know without fail is that, sir, we are in the month of May today. I've opened your account and you've received your debit card, a checkbook, everything. You can continue to do your transactions. However, let me tell you, from next month onwards, if you're doing these number of value of transactions, you will be eligible for an Epicure membership, right? What will also happen is that if you meet the eligibility criteria, you will receive an email and an SMS, right? The relationship manager will not get that notification saying that, okay, your so-and-so customer has received this thing. The RM will not come to know. The customer will come to know, right? It's a direct to customer campaign. So the customer will have to necessarily be aware about it. Number two is that he should be willing to take action there, right? So when he takes that action, you will be able to, he will receive back what we call as the coupon code or, voucher coupon codes basically, which he can redeem on the Epicure membership website of the Taj Group of Hotels. Now, what he will do is that Epicure membership will allow him to take the discount or the membership as complimentary. So he will not have to pay for it, right? So that's the modus operandi of applying the Epicure membership. Now, on the debit card, we have excluded intentionally some transactions. What are those transactions? For example, ATM cash withdrawals, right? Because sometimes the customer will withdraw just money out of the ATM and he'll make himself eligible for it, right? It may not be true eligibility. Then we have also removed certain things like insurance payment. Now, whether the customer is paying for a health insurance or a life insurance premium, then those are excluded from the eligible transactions on your debit card. Also, if you load currency on your wallets, all right, could be a Paytm, PayU, any of these wallets. If he's loading currency, then in that case also, those transactions are excluded. School fees. Yeah. So any paying of any school fees done on your debit card, because most of the schools and colleges today accept fees online, right? You can log into their studies portal and then use your debit card, both debit or credit card, and make a payment today. Yeah. So that is excluded. Similarly, fuel purchases on petrol pumps, any utility bill payments, could be a telephone bill, electricity, water. These are also excluded from the list of eligible transactions. Then comes jewelry purchases, whether it is gold, anywhere purchase, either, now a small correction, either at a retail outlet or online, both are excluded, right? Any utility telecom payments, Visa to Visa card transfer, or any payment towards charity. All right, so all of these will be excluded. So the first thing as a relationship manager, so you are giving a customer a laundry list of exclusions. The first and most important thing you should also know is that what are transactions that will make him eligible. Yeah, so that should be your primary question, saying that, sir, these are the 5 transactions that you typically do. All right, and these will help you to get qualified for that particular this thing. Now, what are those? So a lot of customers, they would be doing their monthly grocery purchases online on a website like Big Basket or Swiggy or Instamart, any of these, right? So when they are doing their purchase of their groceries on any of these sites, and typically the transaction for an affluent household will necessarily go upwards of 5,000 rupees, right? So then that transaction will be eligible. One. Number two, since this guy is going to be a frequent traveler, he may be purchasing his, booking his airline tickets online himself, right? It could be directly done at a website like Make My Trip, which are aggregators, or it could be done directly at the airline's website also, right? So I'm booking an Indigo or a Vistara directly from the Vistara's website, right? So that would be these transactions become eligible, right? Number 3 is in case of, since he's a frequent traveler, possibly he is also, paying for hotels, right? It could be a POS transaction which is being done using his debit card, or it could be that he's paying online using his debit card, right, to book the hotels, right? It could be at a, like a GoIbibo or Make My Trip or any of these kind of Clear Trip, whatever, and any of these portals, or directly at the hotels, this thing, right? So those transactions will also be considered as valid. Number 4 would be any purchases that the customer is doing at any retail outlets. Could be a Chroma or lifestyle kind of shopping that they're doing, either white goods or lifestyle related shopping that he's doing. Yeah, so these will also be considered as valid transactions for being eligible for the Epicure membership. So for you to be able to convince a customer for this segment of customer, it becomes quite easy, right? These are transactions that he tends to do. Yeah, it's not uncommon for these guys to do these transactions. So it's good for you to kind of guide them, saying that, sir, if you do these 5 transactions, you technically are eligible within 3 months of time. Yeah. So please make sure that you're doing these purchases or making these payments via your priority debit card. It will help you qualify for it, right? Now, a couple of underlying rules that so if it is a joint account, right, only the primary will be eligible for the Epicure membership, and only his spends will be considered. One. Number 2 is that at a family ID level, right? So there may be multiple, you may open, 5 or 6 family accounts together and group them under family banking. But at a family ID level, only one person will be eligible for the Epicure membership. Yeah. So these are the, underlying rules that you should know at any point of time, right? There is an additional benefit also, I think you should know about it, that we also do offer 20% further discount on any booking. I mean, so Taj has an app which is called as Qmin. Now, wherever Taj has its hotels in those cities, they also do food delivery, which means that I can order from the kitchens of the Taj directly to my home. Yeah, like you order on a Swiggy and Zomato and food gets delivered to your home. In the same way or similar way, you can order food through Qmin, but this will not come through random. It will come from the kitchens of the Taj, which means the menu that is listed for the customers in a Taj restaurant is available to the customers to be ordered online as well. Yeah. So they will be able to enjoy a 20% discount on that as well. Yeah. So these are some of the key benefits of the Epicure membership, right? Now, I've just tried to show you a representation, and don't go by the dates. What I want to, the dates pertain to last year. But let's take you through a couple of scenarios. All right. So number 1 is that the campaign is live. All right. So the campaign is active, campaign is live for this financial year. 1. Number 2 is that the customer needs to necessarily maintain the TRV. All right. Number 3 is that he should be doing these 15 transactions, which will make him eligible. Number 4 is that he has to necessarily be the primary account holder, right, to be eligible for this membership. Number 5, and most important, is that you have to exclude the month of account opening, and the subsequent 3 months will be considered as the period of spending for the customer, on which he'll be evaluated. Yeah. So these are the important elements that you have to look at. The next important benefit is the elevated travel experience that we provide through our partnership with Club Vistara, right? So every priority customer and those who typically travel abroad. Now, how do you understand and observe this? You make a note of it. When you observe a bank account statement of a customer and you notice this guy has swiped his debit card at an international destination, right? And he's paid by that, making that payment. That's the customer that you want to catch, right? So you bring about in every conversation of yours saying that how often do you travel abroad, right? And when you ask this question to a new to bank customer, you will get some answers. You will get to understand whether this benefit may be of relevance to him, right? For a customer who's traveling abroad and you happen to see now he's part of your, meeting list on Siddhi, and tomorrow I have to, so I'm doing my pre-call homework today. So when I'm doing my pre-call homework, I'll go through his entire transactions. I'll try and find out, okay, this customer has done a particular transaction about two months back, and he's swiped his debit card. Now that's the customer I want to talk about, sir. I happen to notice from your bank account statement that you recently visited Dubai or the Philippines, and you did one transaction out there, which was done on your priority debit card. So that's the customer that you want to pitch the benefits of the Club Vistara Forex card. So that becomes more and more important. Now, what are the benefits? Number one is that the issuance fee is waived off for the priority customer, right? Number two is he gets enrolled into the Club Vistara. Can you please put yourself on mute?
Suryakanta Jaina, please mute yourself.
Thank you. Yeah, so he also automatically gets enrolled in the Club Vistara membership program. All right, so Club Vistara runs an award, program just like Edge, where you accumulate points on their respective cards. Now, you might be aware, I don't know, but you will have a program on credit cards as well, so that we'll deep dive into that. So we do offer a Club Vistara for credit card also. That credit card and this Forex card both have the same reward platform as well, right? So as the customer swipes these, he can redeem on upgrades, flight bookings, food and beverage, all of that through the Club Vistara program, right? Now, for every $5 that the customer spends, $5 are equivalent basically in any currency, and we can load up to 16 currencies, he will earn 3 Edge reward points. So that's the reward structure that is built into the Club Vistara Forex program, right? One. Number two is on the first loading of 2,500. If he loads on the first loading, $2,500 or more, then he will also get a 500 rupees food and beverage vouchers, which he can redeem at selected international airport outlets, food and beverage outlets, right? Now, but the most important benefit that is on the pricing front of it, right? So every time you load a Forex card, there will be card rates, which are applicable on buying or offloading, basically, or redeeming. So on those rates, the customer will get a 15 paisa benefit in terms of the pricing. So say, for example, today's card rate is 81.9. So he will, or 81 for that matter of fact, let's click a round number, it's easy to this thing. So the customer will be, he will only have to pay about 80.95, so 85. So he will get that 15 paisa benefit if he loads that foreign currency through the branch. But if he loads that same FCY through online, then in that cases he will get a 30 paisa benefit, right? So that's the advantage that the customer enjoys. So currently, that the issuance of the card is not online. So for the issuance of the card, the customer will have to necessarily approach the branch. One. Number two is that you should be very clear that in the system by default, and you should let your operations head know that there is a default charge which is attached to the Forex card. For that charge, the issuance fee will have to be zeroized by the operations team and only then submitted, right? And give the narration stating that a priority customer, right? So automatically when it goes through the approval process or issuance process, automatically this will get become a non-chargeable card, right? So this is very, very important. Third benefit in terms of is the comprehensive health insurance that we provide from Aditya Birla. Now, why this is important is that the health insurance cover basically is, so post-COVID, what we did was we made it more and more prominent and important for people to talk about insurance. So when I'm going, to a customer, right, as a relationship manager, you're not only expected to open an account, right? You're also expected to cross-sell other products of the bank. So what happens is that this becomes, when you bring it into the proposition, now it is upfront basically, right? With the customers, that discussion will definitely happen, right? So it becomes more and more, number one, prominent. Number two is your ability to cross-sell this product becomes very, very strong. Now, the customer that you meet, right, an affluent customer may already be having some kind of health insurance, possibly taken from someone else. It could be, or taken from Axis Bank itself, if he's a, Axis Bank customer, right? But sometimes that cover is not sufficient. So you have to gauge every opportunity to find and understand that how am I supposed to pitch or position this product to the customer. So number one is that you look at, that there is, so let's run through some of the key benefits that are there. So up to 1 crore cover is eligible, for a priority customer, one. All right. There is no pre and post hospitalization cover. Also, there is no capping on room rent or any ICU specific capping or any disease specific capping as well, right? Now, if the customer is keeping himself healthy and active, in those cases, he will also be able to extract a 30% waiver of his premium, right, in the subsequent year. So let's understand each component of this plan. Basically, the plan is known as Health Pro Infinity. So for you as relationship managers, the most important thing is that you should remember the way you need to position health insurance and the need for health insurance. Number one is that not everybody is not adequately covered in terms of health. One. Number two is that if something happens from a health perspective, right? And more people, I mean, all of you have seen pandemic, right? So more and more people got sick. And if they got sick and you got into hospitalization, today hospitalization is extremely expensive, right? A day can take you no lesser than about 7,000-8,000 or upwards, So treatment for about I'm talking about just the room rent, basically, in a good hospital is quite expensive, right? So one. Number two is then further treatment on that. So any one treatment that you go to, you'll be down by about 4 to 5 lakhs. All right. So if you're going to be down by 4 to 5 lakhs and you don't have an adequate cover, so what is it going to eat up into? Your savings, basically, or your investments, basically. You will liquidate that. Right. So liquid cash will get out. But at a premium which is very, very low, if I'm keeping myself adequately covered as low as about 20,000 rupees, then at least 2 adults and 2 children can be covered under this plan. Number one. Right. So the need of having adequate insurance is most important, right? Now the plans are so good that you have combinations. Either you take a comprehensive health cover, which you have 3 options, 50 lakhs, 75 lakhs, or 1 crore. Or you break it down into taking a base plan and a top-up option as well, right? So Health Pro Infinity offers even that particular option. So under that particular option variant, you can take a base plan of 10 lakhs and a top-up of 90. Now, a combination of these two will cost you only about 19 to 20,000 rupees for I'm giving you a approximate number basically, but for a 45-year-old average healthy adult, with 2 children and, a spouse, basically. This is the typical charge, right? So from a pricing standpoint, we are giving the customer one of the best pricing in the market. Yeah. Extremely competitive for the benefits that are being offered. See, never position your product on the price because customer will end up finding somebody lower than the price. So when you meet a customer, right, you should play with the psyche and understand what is most important to a customer. You can't tell him that, sir, there are 527 daycare procedures covered. For the customer, it doesn't mean anything, right? It's a number, basically. One is that you have to give him the assurance that, sir, the most important 5 elements that are there today for which people require treatment, right? The top 5. Number 1 is heart-related diseases. Number 2 is related to cancer and other cancer-related elements. Number 3 is with respect to any diabetic-related or diabetes-related other complications. Number 4 is any knee, hip, joint replacement because, as people are drinking, more and more milk and all of these things, they're getting osteoporosis and other, knee joint problems and all of those things, right? So these are going to hit these people at some age or the other. Number 5, it will be related to, and this is very important, people tend to miss this out, is having protection which provides you cover to give you dialysis, right? If you are able to summarize these 5, right, this gives mental peace to the customer saying that, yes, this particular plan covers these 5 most important elements, right? So your pitch becomes very, very powerful, right? One. So from a pricing standpoint, you are covering. Number 2 is you're covering in terms of the key diseases that are there. And additionally, 527 daycare procedures are there. There is no capping on room rent, IC, or any disease specific capping as well. All right. Number 4 is in a wide network of hospitals, 8,000 plus hospitals that the customer can enjoy this benefit on, right? Both and post-hospitalization cover, 2 fitness health assessments, basically, and fitness assessment per policy year, that as long as the customer is paying his premiums on time, he can avail that at no extra charges, right? So that that itself becomes a motivation to apply for this. Now, as long as the customer is keeping himself physically active. Now, what do you mean by physically active? 13 days. So this is a technical term. 13 days, he should be active in a month. And that should be demonstrated by 10,000 steps per day. One. Number 2 is 30 minutes in a gym. As long as he's keeping himself active on these 2 fronts, which is measured by their Health Active app. So all that they need to do is a customer needs to download that Aditya Birla Health Active app on their mobile phones. And as long as they're keeping himself active, the app is tracking the movement, right? And if he's keeping himself physically fit and 13 days active in a month for the entire year, so he has to keep himself active at least for 13 days, it will give him the eligibility to apply for a waiver of 30% discount on his subsequent year's premium, right? So all in all, this plan becomes very, very effective. Now, what I have actually taught you is the way to pitch this product to the customer in articulating it very systemically. No complicated jargons, no complicated, spiel. It's to the point, and it addresses the need of the customer, right? Now, as you converse with the customer, somebody will tell you, I'm salaried guy, I'm covered with my, organization is already covering my, have a plan. Your next question should be, sir, what is the premium? Number 2 is what is the cover? All right. And how much are you, this thing? So you will be able to gauge saying that, okay, fine, is this guy adequately covered, under covered, what this thing? And then you can present the solution, right? But a lot of salaried guy will say that I'm already covered, but that may be a 5 lakh cover, right? Or 10 lakh cover for that matter of fact, if you're meeting a high net worth customer. That is not sufficient enough to give you coverage on treatment, one. Number 2 is that there could be interim movement. So customer moves one organization to the other organization. Interimly, nobody's covering it, right? Number 3 is that, let's understand, there could be a loss of job. Today, the IT industry is reeling with job losses. So how do you manage to provide your family a health cover during that period of time, right? So it's always beneficial to have an additional cover which runs through, all right? Now, the premiums for any health plan, right, that typically change every 5 years. So the premium stays constant for 5 years. And as your age increases, then the next 5 years, you pay a different premium, basically, right? So always more important that the customer has, takes a plan early, gives him 2 benefits. Number 1 is if there's any specific disease that crop up later, or there are some undiagnosed or something, those diseases will get covered under the plan, right? Plus, if he already has a plan that is running and he continues to pay this at the point of time when he needs it, the cover will be able to give him that, benefit on terms of the specific diseases that he is, dealing with at that point of time. Yeah. So this, your ability to position the product is very, very crucial. Your ability to articulate the benefit, all right, is extremely important. Now let's move into the next elements. Now this is the best of banking. All right. Now what does the best of banking cover? Right. Everything related to transactions, all right, on benefits on the debit card, basically. All right. So what are those? A very, very powerful element is the Edge Reward platform that you have. Now, more and more people are shopping online and buying products and goods online, uh, you know, uh, uh, or paying, going out and eating and all of that. So each time the customer swipes his card, right, he's earning points basically. And those points, what we've done is this already exists as a program within the bank. What we've done is in Priority, we have amped it up a little bit. What I mean by amped it up is what we are saying is that as long as the customer keeps more balances with me, one. Number two is keeping me as a primary banker. I'm willing to reward the customer higher point, system. Right. So depending on the balances the customer maintains, he'll be able to be eligible for the Edge Reward points. Right. So we'll talk about three slabs primarily: 2 to 3 lakhs, 3 to 5, and greater than 5 lakhs. All right. So if the customer is keeping between 2 to 3 lakhs of balances, then he'll be eligible for 250 rupees worth of Edge Reward points per quarter. All right. If the balances increase between 3 to 5 lakhs, then he'll be eligible for 750 rupees worth of Edge Reward points. And if he's keeping greater than 5 lakhs, then 2,000 rupees per quarter worth of Edge Reward points, right? So in a financial year, typically, a customer can earn up to 8,000 rupees in terms of Edge Reward points, right? Equivalent value, basically, right? But to avail this value, you needs to necessarily do 10 transactions. And each of the transactions in a quarter, 10 transactions in a quarter, should be greater than 2,000 rupees, right? So as long as he's doing those transactions, he will be eligible for this benefit. Now, in the Epicure membership, when I had spoken to you, I had told you that. Yeah, kind of heard my own voice as an echo. Am I audible? Can somebody unmute or Shashwati?
Yes, you are.
Yes, sir.
You are.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's audible.
Okay, perfect. So, yeah. So, like I had told you in the earlier scenario on the Taj Epicure membership, in Taj Epicure, the underlying rule was I exclude the month of account opening, and the subsequent 3 months is what I'm looking at with respect to gauging these transactions, right? In this case, it is not the subsequent 3 months, but the subsequent quarter, basically. So what we do is we look at the account opening quarter as the quarter in which we will evaluate the AQB aspect of it, right? So what is the average quarterly balance that he's maintaining? And the subsequent quarter is when he can do the transactions. So when he does the transactions, let's understand in Q2, I will evaluate quarter one's AQB and then give him the points, right? Now, one tricky question, and this is probably most important, you as an RM, you should know, is that if the customer also opens his account on the last day of the quarter, then it will be considered as that entire quarter's AQB, basically. Right? What do I mean by that? So let's look at April, May, and June. This is one quarter, right? So on 30th June, I open an account. All right. That's the last day of the quarter and the month, basically. So the balance that I keep on that particular day will be considered as my entire quarter's AQB. Right? So basis that, this next month, I should do at least these 10 transactions of 2,000 or greater. So I'll be eligible. Now, for every 200 rupees that the customer spends domestic, he gets 1 Edge Reward points. And for every 200 rupees that he spends international, he gets 3 Edge Reward points, right? And he can redeem all these points across, on our Edge portal. And the interesting part is that there is a credit card which is called as Privilege Credit Card, which is also exclusive for a priority customer. Both of these reward systems, both of them rest on the Edge Reward platform itself, right? So this becomes all the more crucial for you as a relationship manager, because you know when you meet a customer, he will be having cards from other banks as well, credit and debit cards. So how do you move a customer to move all his transaction onto your card will be focused on the quality of the program that you run on the points or the reward systems. So for you to educate the customer, this is very important. So please pay attention, very, very sharp attention to what I'm saying. When you meet a customer, he'll be holding one card from, let's understand, SBI, one card from, let's understand, ICICI, one card possibly from HDFC, right? So multiple cards the customer is holding, right? Now, if he's holding multiple cards, he's obviously spending also some small amount in each card. If he spends small amounts, like I spent 10,000 rupees on ICICI, today I realize, okay, nahi, aaj ICICI pe nahi swipe karte, aaj, I will swipe it on my HDFC Bank credit card. So what's happening is the 20,000 rupees that I had actually spent, I ended up swiping on two different cards in which I spent 10 and 10 only. Or depending on the reward program of each of these cards, I would have accumulated some points. But if I spend the entire 20 on one card, then I have higher number of points, which I will earn on the primary or whichever card that I'm spending on. One is that you should tell the customer that not only on my credit card, but also on our debit card, both of them we provide you the same reward platform, which is called as Edge. So the customer can accumulate points on both the credit card and the debit card and encash them on through the Edge Reward platform. Yeah. So that makes the proposition far more powerful, right? And if he is keeping higher balances with us, right? So it is your duty to educate customers that, sir, I constantly see you've been doing a lot of transactions online, which you can see from his bank account statement, right? So when you're glancing through the bank account statement of a customer, when you do your pre-call homework, you should be able to gauge ki, yes, now this is the customer that I want to talk about this benefit, right? So what I would do, now I'm, trying to hold a conversation with a customer, but he's not giving me ample time. What I would do is have a look at his bank account statement. See, okay, now this guy seems to be actively shopping, right? And check what is the number of Edge Reward points he has. You can check it through your Siddhi app. Yeah. Now, all you need to do is you need to tell the customer saying that, sir, I have one very important, the reason for my call today to you, Mr. Customer, is that I want to tell you that you've been an extremely good customer of Axis Bank, one. Number two is that you've been doing a lot of transactions online, right? And you have accumulated over the months, years, you accumulated so many number of points. Most customers, right, they don't really know about these benefits. So it's very, very important for you to educate them. So when you bring about this as a conversation starter, right, and you let him know that there are 60,000 points that you've accumulated, and that points equate to maybe a voucher worth 5,000 rupees on Make My Trip, which you can encash from our portal, Edge Reward portal, then the customer's attention you have already got, right? So it's very important how you articulate the benefit as a RM, because otherwise telling him the story of Edge Reward points that, sir, you do this, you keep more money, he will not understand the story basically. The narrative has to be relatable to him. So as long as you have the right story, you will be able to sell the right benefit. Yeah. Quick check to see if you guys are active. I hope talking is making sense to you. Any points? Give me, I want to check everyone. Hope people have not slept. And you have my attention. Can everybody give me a thumbs up? Tell me they're active. Oh, I see only Jatin, no one else. What's happening? Give me a raise of hands, everyone, please. I want to see who all are listening to this conversation, who's not listening to this conversation. Manish, I can see his video. Good, Manish. All right, Juhi, Vijay Lakshmi, thank you, Vijay Lakshmi, Chaman Mishra, Diksha. Some of you have joined as guests. All of you have Teams access on your mobile. Why are you joining as a guest? All right. Ramya,
We have joined.
Nisar, Dinesh, thank you. Okay, great. A lot of guys active, but still I want more show of hands. There are about 90 of us on this call and I need to see 90 hands up so that I know everyone is active. Okay. Right. Okay. Easy. Are you able to understand what I'm talking about and it's making sense to you?
Sir, can
Yes,
you
sir.
repeat the last, Chaman here? Can you repeat the last 5,000? What about discuss the Make My Trip?
No, I didn't understand. What about Make My Trip?
You have discussed the last point, sir. The customer spends on money and you have check out Make My Trip they are using. So
No, you didn't understand. I'm talking about the edge reward points.
yeah.
Now, under the edge reward points, when you accumulate points, you have to encash those points, right?
Yes, sir.
So how do you encash points? You encash points by going to the edge reward portal, right? If
Yes,
you're
sir.
online, type Axis Bank Edge Rewards. It will take you to the reward portal of Axis Bank,
Yes, sir.
right? What you need to do is you will find various benefits in terms of the number of points that the customer has. There will be certain, vouchers that you'll be able to encash.
Okay.
Right. So I gave you just an example, to a relatable example. So for example, if I've accumulated, say, about 60,000 points, then maybe that value is equivalent, which I can encash. So 60,000 points, what is available for 60,000 points, right? For an affluent customer who spends regularly on his debit and credit card, it's in a year, he'll be able to accumulate that many number of points. So when he's got that number of points accumulated on his debit card, those are the points that you're going to show him that what is that you can get with these points, right? So you are leading him to that information basically. So maybe that is only, let's take a normal situation. The points that he's accumulated gives him a voucher of, on Chopper Stop, for example, right? So you maybe want to highlight only that part of it. Like, sir, 3,000 rupees worth of this thing. Who do you think doesn't want to take that deal, basically? Everybody's looking for a great deal, yeah? Everybody's looking to save some money, right? So as long as you use that as a bait to have a conversation with a customer, right? He's not going to put your phone down saying that, hey, you know what? I'm not interested to talk to you today. So you have to make these conversations more relevant. To use the relevant conversation, look at information. That was my point. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
And did that answer your question?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next comes the Power Pack cards. We have privileged and the priority debit card, right? Privileged credit card, the advantage is that there is no joining fee for a priority customer. Program has no joining fee. The annual fee for the first year is also waived off, no charges for the first year. The second year, there is a charge of 1,500 rupees, but that gets waived off provided the customer is doing 2.5 lakh worth of transactions on his credit card annually. One. Number two is he gets a joining bonus of 6,250 edge reward points, which is equivalent to about 2,500 rupees, provided he is doing 3 transactions greater than 200 rupees using his credit card on the first 90 days from the date of issuance of the card. All right. So this is very important that you get the customer to start transacting. All right. So if he just starts transacting 2,500 rupees worth of edge reward points, the points are 6,250, will get credited to his uh, reward point system, which he can encash at any point in time. right? Now, there are certain benefits that are provided on both the debit and the credit card. All right, what are those? There are 8 complimentary domestic launch accesses that are provided on the credit card and on the priority debit card as well, right? There is also a 25% discount on movies on Book My Show on both these cards. Also, we also offer the Dining Delights program through the Easy Diner program on where the customer can get discounts. All right. Now, so up till 800 rupees, you'll be able to get discounts of 25% per month, basically, right? So these are some of the core benefits that their customer will be able to get on both the privilege and the priority debit card. We'll go through each one of those benefits as well. But an important element of the benefit is his ability to shop with discounts. So another conversation starter and very, very important is when I'm talking to a customer and I notice from his bank account that he's shopping frequently on Amazon, Flipkart, and other portals, right? All I need to do is I need to tell him that, sir, I noticed from your bank account that you've been shopping regularly on various e-commerce sites. So one of the benefits that we at Axis Bank and in Priority Banking we provide you is that you can shop through our portal, which is called as Grab Deals, which will lead you back to Amazon and Flipkart. But what we do is that on our Grab Deals portal, when you shop through us on your priority debit card, then you will be able to get between 5% to 45% discounts on the products that you purchase, right? Now, some of them may be discounts, some of them may be cashback, some of them may be points that will get credited, right? So a combination of all three. But when you take him through that portal, right, he will be able to enjoy those and get those discounts. So shopping for the same product, I may be buying a hair dryer, for example. But that hair dryer now, if I purchase it through the Grab Deals portal of Axis Bank, then I'll be able to extract a discount or some kind of benefit that on that same purchase, right? So that becomes very, very important, bait or carrot, which you can give to the customer. Yeah. And most customers will not know this by default, right? I mean, I have a debit card I have multiple accounts, but I do not know unless somebody comes as a relationship manager, you come and tell or educate the customer saying that, so this is one of the benefits that we offer. And I noticed from your bank account that you are not utilizing these benefits. Yeah. Then it becomes like a conversation starter. But however, for example, you notice that there is a customer who is not at all shopping and you see his bank account statement, no online transactions. Then it becomes difficult for you to even, try and position this, right? It may turn out to be a waste of time, right? Not necessarily. I mean, in a sense, I don't mean that it'll turn out to be a waste of time. Maybe he's shopping on some other bank account as well. All right. Maybe he's keeping his primary banker as someone else, for that matter of fact. But if you meet somebody who's between 40, 45 age, I have not come across many customers who don't shop online, right? Everybody is doing some kind of shopping or the other online. All you need to do is direct them to this benefit, right? Now, not only do we provide them the ability to get benefits in terms of shopping, helping customers save, helping customers grow their money, all of those elements, but an important element of protection also we provide on the priority debit card. What is that element of protection? Number one is that personal accident cover up to 10 lakh rupees. All right. Only accidental death is covered. 1 crore air accident cover provided that the air tickets have been purchased using the priority debit card. All right. And then there is a purchase protection of up to 50,000 rupees. Now, what does purchase protection mean? Say, for example, I go and buy a mobile phone at Chroma. The mobile phone costs 35,000, for example. Now, when I purchase that mobile phone and I happen to lose it, right? Or it because of theft, basically. Then in that case, the purchase protection plan covers that particular good. So couple of underlying rules for that. Number one is the payment of that particular good should have been done using the priority debit card. One. Number two is that within 90 days, the claim has to be made. Or even the theft should have happened only within this period. So within the first 3 months only, right? It's not like, okay, today I lost it 2 years later and I'm asking for a claim. It won't. So 90 days from the date of purchase is the only period in which this particular good will be covered, right? It gives you enhanced withdrawal limits both on your ATM and on your POS. So 1 lakh rupees in terms of ATM and 5 lakhs rupees in terms of your purchases that you can do per day, right? Now we're moving into the more important aspects. Now you as relationship managers will constantly you have to acquire new to bank customers, right? But you already have a pool of existing customers who have a savings account relationship with you. Meet these customers or you deep dive in your portfolio, you will understand that a large customer base of my own are nothing but self-employed customers. They are having some businesses or the other. But I only have a savings account relationship of that customer with the bank. So what will you do in that case? I will walk up to the customer and tell him saying that, sir, you have may I know who are you having your current account relationship with? At Axis Bank, we can provide you, you are an esteemed customer of mine, and I can provide you a lot of more benefits. And what we can do is we can group your current account in family banking, by which it will give you the flexibility of balance maintenance, which means that as a customer, if I keep 2 lakh rupees, so 4 lakh rupees in my savings account, and I'm assuming these customers would be keeping, right? How do you find that out? Let me give you some kind of clues to that. Go to your individual customer book, all right? And there is a mail that comes from Premium Banking ID, which will tell you Portfolio 360. If you type Portfolio 360 on your mail, you will see a mail that comes from a Premium Banking ID. Write it down, right? Download the file that comes through and go to your respective portfolio. You will see the customer split in your portfolio, how many customers maintain what kind of balances. The same information you can also get from your Siddhi app, right? So I will show you once we go into the Siddhi, application, and that's a separate session where you can try and find who are your customers who are high value. Now you'll realize if the customer is a high value client of mine, which means is maintaining between 4 to 5 lakhs or 5 lakhs and above balance, then this is an important customer that I should be talking to him about a business solution, basically, right? In which you can group current account of any constitution, basically, which means proprietorship, partnership, private limited company, all of these LLP, you can group all of individual current account as well, right? I may be a doctor wanting to open an account in my own name, all right? Because I need to collect money through that particular account, or I may be a lawyer, basically, or a chartered accountant, but I will want to collect money in my own name, right? So in those cases also, you can open an individual current account. I want you to make notes of this so that you remember it, all right? Because once this session gets over, then my questions will start coming, right? When my questions will start coming, or you are going to be constantly asked by your branch head, you should know what I'm supposed to be doing with my portfolio. What am I supposed to be doing? How should I be working with my proposition to get the maximum benefit for my customer? Yeah. So this is one important conversation that you need to start, right? Now, there are two exclusions. Public limited company and trusts, okay, are not part of this engagement. All right. Priority relationship managers will not be allowed to open public limited companies accounts and trust accounts, right? So don't try and approach a school to open their or avoid that. You can look at their current account or business accounts perfectly okay, right? Now, there are certain scheme codes that are also eligible to be part of this. Now, yesterday you were part of the KRA session. So in the KRAs that we would have covered certain scheme codes that you would have heard of, right? I want you to make note of that. So as an RM, you can open a normal current account, which is called a CANOR. You can open a business advantage account, which is called as CAADB, right? CASEL, which is called as a business select account, all right? Business classic, business privilege, CANEG, which is current account for new economy group, all right? Current account for jewelers. So look at your catchment area, and very important scheme code, which is called as CAPBG, right? Which is current account. It's called a priority current account, basically. However, the priority current account is only meant for proprietorship and individuals only. Okay. So CAPBG is only meant for proprietorships and individual current account. But all of the rest, you can open any constitution. Okay. So this is very important for you to remember, whether it's an individual, whether it's an HUF, whether it is a partnership, whether it's a private limited company, I will be able to open accounts for all of them as an RM, LGLC. All right. So when I'm going to talk, I'm only talking about LGLC because I do not believe that you should be doing any charity. If you meet a customer, you pitch the product to him. All right. So we'll be doing a separate session on current accounts, which we will strengthen your understanding not only about the acquisition process, you'll also understand the various scheme codes. So here today, I will not touch base on the scheme codes. I will focus only on the priority proposition per se. Yeah. There is a certain process also which is required for current account grouping under family banking. So for you to get credit, right, of MDAP, there are two things you should look at. That I need to group the current account along with the savings account. Somebody had asked me this question yesterday, and I said I will take it up specifically in the current account session. But I'll answer it right now. Is that customers, when they open, so you have a savings account of a customer for which you enjoy the MDAP, right? Now, if I get that customer's current account also mapped, right? Until the mapping is done, right, I will not get the benefit of the MDAP that he's maintaining on his current account. So it's very, very important that I group this under family banking so that I can enjoy that benefit. Number one. Number two is that at any point of time when I group the account, so somebody else, some other RM had a question saying that, sir, I acquire a current account relationship, but the customer is not opening a savings account relationship with me today, right? So it's a good question. He will not enjoy the benefits of the points, NOA points, or the MDAP. So to enjoy these points, he has to open the savings account. So if he opens the savings account on a subsequent date, then that grouping will get him retrospective points on the MDAP from the month which the account was sourced in, right? So if the account was sourced in the month of April, you got the savings account in the month of July and grouped it in July, then April, May, June, and July, retrospective for all these months, the MDAP will meet, right? So that's what will happen. Now, under the family banking, 5 additional members other than the primary, which means totally all 6 customers can group their accounts under the family banking program, right? Now, for those who have a family banking program, we give them an extra 10% discount on the lockers. The lockers, by default, a priority customer enjoys 50% discount on small and medium-sized lockers and 25% on large and extra large lockers, right? So if a customer has a family banking relationship with us, that 50% will become 60%. And for small and medium, and for large and extra large lockers, it will become 35%, right? Lifetime. So this is not like a one time, this is a lifetime. So every year the discount will run, provided the customer is keeping his TRV at a family ID level, right? So very, very important. So you will have lockers, right? So I will teach you one technique today. Like say, for example, you meet customers, right? And somebody is, an affluent customer and you have a locker today that you want to sell, right? So you don't sell locker by telling customers saying that, sir, we have excellent locker facilities. Why don't you take with us, right? He will say in his own mind that, what is this guy talking? I am 47 years old, already holding a locker with some other bank, right? And I'm enjoying holding a locker because I already have probably that locker there. That's why I don't have a locker with you. Yeah. But the way to position this product is what you have to learn and understand. So how do you position a locker in the mind of a customer is by creating what we call as a need of urgency to act, right? Now, how do you create that need of urgency? Now, I was talking to one of my, some customer who was looking for a locker. What I told him was that, why don't we do one thing? I've just got to know that one of our premium lockers at the branch just got vacant, right? We are already full. I mean, all the lockers are occupied, even if they're not, right? I mean, let him know that all the lockers are full and there is a wait listing. But I've just got to know from my operations head that there is one locker which is premium that just got vacant. I wanted to take this opportunity to call you and let you know that you are the first customer I'm calling, so that I want you to have the first right of refusal on that locker, right? There is somebody who's coming here at about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, all right? It'll be great if you can turn up before that and have a look at the locker. Get ma'am a account, get your wife, have a look at the locker. If you like it, you can go ahead and I can book the locker for you, right? What you enjoy from a pricing perspective, since you're a priority customer, I'll make the deal very good for you. I'll provide you a 50% lifetime discount on the locker, both on small and medium. And if you have a family banking, so if you open your wife's account along with it, 10% additional discount on the locker. So you will enjoy 60% discount on the lifetime charges of the locker. That becomes a very, very important piece because in the mind of the customer, you've created an urgency to act now. Number two is that he understands that you are making him feel privileged and important because you've told him a very important piece of information, uh, uh, which ideally he would not have access to, right? So that sense he will appreciate you as an RM. Now, what I've taught you is an ability to position a locker in the mind of the customer. Doesn't mean that every customer will buy your story, right? Some customers may say, no, I'm happy with this. But what it will do is increase your probability of success with this customer, because now he will think that every time Ramesh calls me, I like this guy because he tells me something very, very important, right? He shares with me important, vital information, which helps me succeed, right? Or it helps me take the right decision. So your value as a relationship manager goes up. Instead of randomly having a conversation, sir, we have lockers, why don't you open a locker with us? What you've actually done is you've structured the same conversation. The objective is the same, but you've tailored it differently in the mind of the customer. Or you positioned it differently in the mind of the customer. Yeah. So that makes the pitch far more impactful, right? Second thing that you will gain is that it will increase your probability of success, which means that today, if you're closing 0 lockers, right, tomorrow you will start closing 1 locker at least, right? And as you start succeeding with the practice of this particular thing, soon you will be selling 2, soon be selling 3 lockers. So all that it'll do is it will improve your success rate. And that's exactly what you want, right? My ability to sell better to customers. Then comes, so every family has senior citizens, right? Now there is, obviously the senior citizens enjoy a higher rate on fixed deposit. So we definitely pay, one is a higher rate on FD. So I won't come into that part from the rate perspective right now. But what's important for you is that you need to understand that every family will have a senior citizen when you approach them, right? And that customer may not have the account with Axis Bank, right? So let's understand you come to me, I'm Abhishek, and you're my relationship manager, right? Now you have to, in your conversation, try and find out who are the other family members, right? So wife, where do my parents bank with? All right. So not necessarily they would want to move, but what you need to definitely tell them is that, sir, at Axis Bank, we provide certain benefits for senior citizens exclusively under 2 things. There are certain privileges that we have. Also, we run a separate program, which is called the Silver Lining Program. I will share with you guys. the training deck or the positioning deck for the one pager as well for Silver Lining program. Now there on 20% discount, you will get across select diagnostic laboratories. Now for every customer, they will be doing health tests beyond a certain age more frequently, right? So to get the discount becomes an added advantage, one. Number two is 15% discount across Apollo pharmacies, because I mean, typically there will be any guy today beyond the age of 60, 65 tends to, take some kind of, medicine or the other. And they tend to be monthly expenditure on that. So if that expenditure is reduced by 15%, that becomes a value add for the customer, right? Then there are other benefits under the program with their health checkups that are complimentary. There are blood tests or other diagnostic tests on which they will be able to get discounts. There will be doorstep service, available. So under the senior citizen program, provided the customer is maintaining 2 lakhs, right, and part of the eligibility under the Axis Bank priority program, right? So as long as he's eligible for that, then he'll be able to enjoy those benefits. So you must pitch this, because then what happens is then you're able to influence a customer to take a decision, right? But just telling him saying that, sir, we provide, you can open your parents' account. I have no need to. They already have an account, right? But when you tell me this benefit and you show me how I can save money, then since I'm spending on their health, since I'm spending on purchasing the medicines, I feel that, okay, great, be able to save some money here. Yeah. Then comes the exclusive benefit on the Axis Direct account. So there are no account opening charges. The first year charges are completely waived off for both the account setup and DMAT. Second year onwards, there is 25% discount on the DMAT of 750 rupees, right? So that's with regards to the quick time check. We are at about 10:49, 10:50. We have another 40 odd minutes to go, but I will try and wrap up in the next 20 odd minutes or 15, 20 minutes, and then we'll open it up for Q&A so that I can try and answer questions for everyone, right? So under the family banking program, as you may be aware, you can group not only savings accounts, but you can also group current accounts under the family banking program. Other than the primary, which means that other than the primary family ID, there are 5 additional members in the family for which you can create a family, or you can do family banking under. In case you have customers where you meet larger groups, maybe joint families in smaller cities, when you go to tier 2, tier 3 towns, basically there are some families that will have about, affluent families may have about 7 or 8 people as well, right? So you can take an exception. We will be able to send in a separate request to CEO, saying that we want to, additional members have to be raised, which is beyond the program eligibility criteria. We'll approve it. We'll not say no to that. But at a retail level itself, you can, at a branch level itself, you can close out up to 6 members. Yeah. Now, coming to the lockers, so this is, something important that each one of you should know, that a customer. Yeah.
अभिषेक सर थोड़ा पहला वाला स्लिप खाली फोटो खींचना था सर.
फोटो क्यों खींचना है आपको? ये ऐसा क्या हो गया है फोटो? आई मीन दिस प्रायोरिटी प्रोपोजिशन डेक इज अवेलेबल फॉर यू टू डाउनलोड and read as well on on Priority Lighthouse, so you don't require it.
Okay, sir.
You can download the entire presentation deck. We'll also mail it across to you guys, so everybody should have it. What you will see is 3 important things. One, I'll come to that point. There are some mandatory things that you guys as RM need to do, so I'll take you through that. So don't take any pictures. Picture is not important, basically, right? We'll share it with you. I mean, you need to have this presentation deck with you.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So coming to lockers, very, very important is that the customer can see the lockers that he is eligible for at your specific branch. So in case your branch is already sold out from lockers perspective, I can choose the next closest destination to my location and pick up that particular locker in that that branch as well, right? Not only I can choose across cities as well. It doesn't matter where I am. I can book a locker in any city, any branch using my Access mobile app. It will tell me at any point of time how many lockers are available in that particular branch. And it will also allow me to pay using my account, block the locker, right? And in case it's full, you can still apply for it and take a waitlisting position, right? So you'll get into a queue system. So as and when lockers are getting vacant, then you will move first in, first out, FIFO. Yeah. So this is very, very important that, if I have something urgent that I want to, why does it become important? Let's understand. As a customer, I'm traveling international in the next, tomorrow, for example. And today night, I have to figure out what do I do about my valuables. All I need to do is go to my mobile app directly and make a booking for a locker. Make the booking and directly go to the website. On the Access mobile app. Lock that particular locker. Next day, I can walk into the branch, deposit my valuables, sign the contract and the agreement, and directly start using the services of the locker at the branch. So this becomes very, very easy and convenient for a priority customer, and that is what you should be positioning. In fact, I do remember somebody had called me some time back, and there was a customer who urgently required a service. I said, ma'am, don't worry. What you need to do is that just quickly go onto the mobile app, block the locker right now itself. And this was at about 10 o'clock, and it was a panic call kind of thing from a customer's standpoint. I told her, you book your locker right away, walk into the branch tomorrow in the morning, and I'll take care of the necessary requirements. So she came in early in the morning. I made sure that the branch was, we kept it open for her a little early, walked inside, completed the transactions. She was happy, flew out, came back after 20 days, no problem. Very, very happy. Right. Now, there are certain transactions which a customer is also like a priority customer will be able to enjoy in terms of a service delivery. 24 hours in terms we provide to priority customers in terms of liability related service requests, all right, turnaround time, like an address change, email ID updation, saving account migration, nomination, dormant account activation. All of these, the customer we'll give them a 24 hours turnaround time. For any retail asset related request, right? For example, you want a amortization chart, or they want a loan account ledger, basically. For all those related asset related queries, request 48 hours turnaround time as a service guarantee. Right. From an eligibility criteria, I've already told you that a priority customer can have 2 lakhs of savings account. Then AQB that he needs to maintain is 2 lakh rupees, 4 lakh in terms of current and savings, 15 if he has mutual funds and term deposits attached. So I can have 15 lakhs in terms of mutual fund investment. I need not keep any balances in my current and savings. I can, still enjoy all the benefits of priority banking, right? And then if I have 50 lakhs in DMAT, then, equivalently, I can enjoy all the benefits, right? Now, this is with respect to for any regular savings account, but in case of salary, then the salary necessarily needs to be credit in bank account, right? So that is very, very important. Now, there are certain sales aids which we have provided to you as priority RMs. You should have access to these sales aids at any point of time. There is an AV audio video. In case you don't have this, I'll share it within the group on WhatsApp, and then you can download it from there, right? So you should have this AV at all points of time. You should have the priority pitch deck. You should have the leaflet. Now, the brochure, the leaflet, and the one pager, these have to be indented through Rishta P2B. So what you need to do is walk up to your branch head or operations head. First of all, find out whether the stationery is already there at the branch. In case it's not there, you will have to order the stationery. And please make sure that you order ample quantity of it. Because when the customers that you meet, right, and especially if you meet a high net worth customer, it's very important that my first meeting, I leave a brochure behind with him or a one pager, a printed one pager. I don't want you to start giving these printouts and then carry that printout and hand it over to a customer. The customer who's maintaining 50 lakh rupees balance and you're giving him a, एक Xerox wallet printer say, this thing brochure is not not appreciated. So please make sure that you are carrying the colored printed stationery of the bank. You can order it in case it's not available. Some of you may be new RMs in the branches, so the stock would have run off. So please walk up to either the operations guy or your branch head and let them know that the stationery is not available and you need to place an order for it. Right? There is a standardized email signature. I'm sorry, the format is incorrect, but you will get to the correct format. I think that has already been covered yesterday. Shashwati has taken you through that. And most of you would have seen the prescribed email signature standard that you need to have. Right. Now, quickly, we'll run through some of the benefits that are there in terms of airport lounge access and discounts that we offer on the priority debit card. So on the airport lounge, we provide 2 per quarter, like I had mentioned to you. So for you to understand this better, there are a couple of things, for those of you, I'm assuming some of you have already utilized, or have enjoyed benefits of, airport lounge access. How many of you, anyone here who has used an airport lounge earlier, can give me a raise of hands, yes, please? I would appreciate a raise of hands. Okay, Dinesh, Vasant, Avinash, Priya, Ankur. Oh, plenty. Okay, great. Can someone unmute and tell me like what happens or what do they do exactly? How does this transaction go through? Yeah, anyone? You can unmute yourself.
Yeah, sir.
Dinesh.
Sir,
okay, go ahead, Dinesh.
Yeah, basically, like if you are went to airport, so we have a airport launch. So like if in case we have a delay in the flights or anything, like we can wait at the airport launch. So there we have to use our credit card or debit card, which we have an option. So they'll swipe 2 rupees for Visa card, and MasterCard they'll swipe 25 rupees. And we can access the launch for 1-2 hours. We can enjoy the food, like drinks, hot drinks, all we can enjoy the food and all.
So what? So I want you to understand one thing. So why should this be a benefit for a priority customer? So the person who travels often, right?
Yes.
It's not about your flight gets delayed because today most of the flights are typically on time, right? The situation.
No, sir, basically, sir, for airport, like everyone has to reach before at least 2 hours prior. 1-2 hours prior, we have to reach. So we have to wait at airport inside at least 1 hour. So in that 1 hour, we can enjoy this complimentary airport launch.
Right, but the positioning statement should be, see, every customer, right, when he goes to a airport, right, and if I am having an early morning or evening flight, I'm going to miss my food basically, right?
Yes.
For which I have to pay for that food. So Dinesh, that is the important element that you have to bring onto the conversation is that a food typically on an airport can cost you with suboptimal standards will be about anywhere in the range of about 350-400 rupees. Now, if you're ordering higher, then it obviously, if you want to eat more like a proper full-fledged dinner, it can cost 500 or more. Yes. So if I'm going to pay 400-500 rupees for a meal on the airport, right, and that's an expensive amount, right? Instead of paying that, I can enjoy the benefits in the airport lounge without any charges, which actually helps me save money. It's not about enjoying or the time, but it's about saving the money. as well, right? One. Number two is that the launch gives you exclusivity as well. As a customer, I'll enjoy the ambience, the aura, the peace that I will get there. I want to take a quick nap for about, so in case you are too early or your flight is delayed, right? In those cases, you can take a quick nap, rest, you'll get that comfort, charge your laptop. You don't have to get stuck of charging your phone or your laptop somewhere in the public areas. You'll have a private plug-in point just next to where you're seated. This thing, you can do your office work in peace. You can use the Wi-Fi services available at the launch. So all of those benefits you will get to enjoy, right? So that entire value, right, that helps a customer, gives him a lot of peace of mind, helps him save money, basically. So that's the thing you should be putting onto the table of a customer, right? And a lot of customers typically who do travel, they travel for work, or if that company is sending them, right? So I will end up traveling a lot, right? So in that cases, these are the superior benefits that we provide to a priority customer. Now let's come to the next point. Yeah. So all clear? I mean, did it give you much more clarity? So good, Dinesh. I mean, good response. Yeah. Right. So next is on the locker discount, which I've already spoken to you about, with 25 to 50% discount depending on the size. Now, the next discount is that, so you see every customer, right? Typically on a weekend, there are two important things that people do. Either they dine out or they go watch a movie. I mean, so we are out of COVID anymore. Now still, people are traveling, to watch a movie and things like that, right? So during COVID, this would have not made any sense, to talk about this benefit. But when people spend their weekends, right, there are two things that they do. Either dine out, take their family or their friends, or people who are in business, right, or working, professionals, they want to entertain guests. So they will take you to dine out, right? For which for example, I have a valuable customer of mine or a client of mine. I'm either traveling to a different location, either for work or for business, basically. I mean, if I'm having a meeting with my client, then in those cases, I will, dine out. So to get some discounts, those are some benefits I can get. But we'll move to the movie first. We'll come to the dining piece later. So most people on the weekends, they typically want to take their family out, right? The customer can get a 25% discount, which is 350 rupees worth of discounts per month on the booking of on Book My Show, and 60 rupees on food and beverage, right? So, but for this, what happens is the customer, since this is an upfront discount, there's no cashback. So tell the customer not to swipe his debit card. What he has to do actually, 1 second, I have some occasion. Okay, sorry. So, where were we? Okay. So what's important is that the Book My Show offer is not a cashback. Most customers get confused saying that I paid by my debit card, but मेरे को कोई discount नहीं मिला. What he has to do is, before he goes to make the payment, so when you book your seats, right, you log into your Book My Show app. And then when you go to book the seats, you have to choose the payment option. Before you choose the payment option, you go and click on avail offers, basically. So when you click on that avail offers, right, or apply promo codes, that's where it will give you various options from many banks who have listed themselves on the platform Book My Show, in which Axis Bank itself will have multiple offerings, basically. The customer needs to go and select Axis Bank Priority Bank debit card, because that's how he's going to make the payment. When he selects that, automatically at the back end, it will do a bin check. Basically, bin check means it will check the numbers that are there on the debit card and authenticate whether this guy is a priority customer. And once the bin check is done, it will give him a discount. It will apply the discount upfront on the purchase. That discount is capped to 25%, which is up to 350 rupees per month, right? So, tickets can be quite wildly expensive in a city like Mumbai or Delhi, right? So it can help save a customer quite a bit. Yeah. Now comes the Dining Delights program, which we have through our Easy Diner program. Now, Easy Diner is nothing but like just an app which you can download. It will give you various options. Now, the advantage here is that I can be in any city or wherever I am. So for example, today I'm going to Santa Cruz for a meeting. So I can reach Santa Cruz and look around for restaurants that are there and decide, okay, fine, this is the restaurant I want to dine in. I can check what is the offer that is available in that particular restaurant and then apply that particular and block that and pay through my priority debit card. Right. So when I do that, right, it allows me to get a discount via the Easy Diner. This is capped at 800 rupees per month. And minimum value of the transaction should be greater than 2,000 rupees. Right. So the customer will be able to enjoy these benefits on that. So a good way for you to start the conversation is once you understand that this customer does eat out often. And how do you find that out? You just look at his bank account statement. You will figure out this guy went to so-and-so restaurant and paid, or went to this place and paid, right? You add up that value. So say, okay, fine, this guy eats out pretty often, right? Once you understand that, and maybe he's traveling to different cities as well. So if you travel to a different city, and if I'm going to Delhi for a business meeting, I will definitely go and eat somewhere, right? So if I'm going to eat or, to a nice, good restaurant with my friends or my colleagues, then I can avail this benefit of paying through that Dining Delights program, right? Now, as what is very, very important is this particular slide, because you are going to meet customers who are not only going to be having your bank account, but somebody who's like an NTB customer, probably having bank account with somebody else. Where what you need to know is that at an equivalent IP, right? If the customer has to maintain, so initial funding amount of 2 lakhs and average quarterly balance equivalent average, I would say not equal, but almost equal, AQB, we provide you lot more in terms of benefits compared to some of the other competing banks. So this slide is of extreme importance. You should keep a printout of it and memorize it for your understanding, right? So what are the various discounts that are available from competition on maybe like an HDFC Preferred or a Kotak Premia or an ICICI One account? And how do those stack up with respect to the Axis Bank Priority Banking? What are those elements of discounts that we offer, which are not available on other platforms? And what are those? So you need to have this slide is very, very important, right? So spend some time and read it. Right. So this is just a summary slide. I mean, we've covered all of these points basically in terms of charges. So one is that, higher transaction limits, complementary programs that we run, which are on the family banking, current account grouping program, higher withdrawal limits or transaction limits on both ATM card, 1 lakh, air accident cover, personal accident cover, edge reward points, credit card, privilege credit card that we offer, higher FD rates, senior citizen privileges that we offer, and relationship-based pricing on the Axis Direct Demat account and lockers, right? Now, these are the list of summarized benefits. Now, I'll just take you through a couple of more elements that are there, which you need to know, which are good to talk about to customers, right? Another quick 2 minutes. Won't take more time than that. Won't take more time than that. So one is in terms of My Design. So you can get the customer, like, people who would like to keep their own image and branding on their debit card, right? It could be that I want my family. Some people want their religious, from their gods onto their, debit card. All of those flexibility through the My Design program, you can get it done, right? And it's quite easy. The customer can directly log on to, you just type My Design Axis Bank and automatically it'll take you to that particular link. And from there, the customer can, there is already a menu of pictures available. So you can choose from that exclusive category of pictures that are available, or you can upload your own, right? So it will cost 250 rupees plus taxes in case you do your own image, or in case you choose from the gallery of images, then depending on the pricing in that gallery, it can go up to 500 rupees plus GST, right? So it's a good position that you can talk about to customers. All right. Then there is a specific feature which is EMI on debit card. Now you should know that this is not available for every customer. All right. You need to be eligible for this particular service. It's not across the bank. All right. So for how should a customer check? Write it down in case this thing, but so always keep it handy with you. You have to SMS DCEMI. All right. What does DCEMI stands for? Debit card EMI. And you have to punch the last 4 digits of your debit card number. All right. Last 4 digits of your debit card number and send it to 561-61600. Right. It will immediately tell you if you are eligible for EMI on debit card. Right. So this is only for selected customers. They have to be eligible to do this, avail this particular benefit. Right. And then he can convert it for different tenors, basically 3, 6, 9, 12. And the rates of interest can vary between 14 all the way till about 16%. Right? So that's with respect to the EMI on debit card offer that we have. I won't cover PIN generation. All of these aspects we'll cover in the digital banking piece. Yeah, so thank you. I'll open it up for Q&A. We are at about 11:13 right now. So another couple of minutes that we have, I'll open it up for Q&A. I would like people, don't randomly ask questions, just raise your hands and then I'll call out your names and then we can go ahead with Q&A. So a couple of, before we start getting into questions, one is, how did you find the session? Were you able to, was I able to add value to you today? Were you able to understand priority proposition much more in detail from what you had? Right? I would like to hear some comments. You can put it in the chat group. Not only were you able to learn the benefits, but were you able to understand how to position these benefits when you get into conversations with customers? Yeah. So I want to hear a few of you guys talk about it. So, you can please don't write yes, sir, because usse to kuch pata nahi lagta kya hota hai. So be more elaborative. At least I get to understand what's your learning today. Yeah. So while people write their comments and feedback, let's take some of the questions. So Santosh, yeah, you can unmute yourself, and Santosh, I'll take your question.
Santosh Malik, please unmute yourself and ask your question.
Santosh, please ask your question.
I think we could move on to the next one, Abhishek.
Okay. Gaurish Bansal.
Yes, sir.
Hi, Gaurish. What's your question?
My question is how much cash deposit in my priority account?
So you can deposit. However, there is one restriction in terms of non-chargeable, basically. Right. So as long as you are doing 5 lakhs or 7 free cash transactions, this will not be charged.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay.
And sir, can you
These are
provide me
non-chargeable. Anything above that is chargeable.
Can you provide me your one pager on my WhatsApp group?
Your one pager. What do you mean by your one pager?
जो आपने show करा था, sir. अपने सिस्टम पे benefits of all benefits in priority account.
Yes. So what I'm going to do, yes, good point. What I will do after our call today, right? After our call, you will get 3 things from my side. Number 1, you will get a 1-pager. Number 2 is you will get the pitch deck so that you can understand the priority proposition in detail. Number 3, you will get the AV file as well. I'll send it on the WhatsApp groups that you are part of, right? This learning group, right?
नहीं सर, जो आपने बना रखा था ना, वो जो सिस्टम में आपने बना रखा है पीपीटी, वो जो था सब कुछ था उसमें.
So that's what I'm saying. I'll send that to you on email. You will also
Okay.
get the pitch deck and this thing on WhatsApp. So I'll send it to you on both, basically. But the detailed version will not be on WhatsApp. The concise version will be on WhatsApp. The detailed version, I will send it to you on your mail IDs.
All the stuff.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Right. So we'll move to Indrajit. Indrajit Roy.
Yeah. Hello.
Hi, Indrajit.
Hi, sir. Sir, can you just repeat all the five transactions which you mentioned that for this POS and selected transactions which we can do for this Epicor membership?
Okay. So, I mean, things like, just an example. Okay. So, for example, a customer does online shopping. All right. So write it down in case you want to understand this a little more in detail. Where do people shop? Where you think the spends are going to be greater than 5,000 rupees. So let's think about that. Number 1, I do monthly grocery shoppings on Big Basket, for example, right? That can be this thing, or a Swiggy or Instamart. A lot of people today do their monthly grocery shoppings from these kind of websites, right? And get the food, get these groceries delivered to home. 1. Number 2 is that if I'm a frequent traveler, then I would, pay for my airline booking tickets directly, either on a Make My Trip, Clear Trip, or, directly on the airline's website. All right. If I'm staying in a hotel, then I would be making the payments of the hotel using my priority debit card. All right. Now that could be through either Make My Trip, I'm making a payment, or directly if I'm going to, a hotel, I'm making the payment directly on my debit card there as well. Right. So that's one option. Third option is if I'm an e-commerce buyer, basically I'm purchasing something on Flipkart, Amazon, any of these portals, AGO, any of these portals, if I'm shopping, then that will also be considered as valid transaction. And typically, some of these purchases can be as high as about 5,000 rupees, right? So that's one option. What's the next option? I'm doing purchases at a retail outlet like Shoppers Stop. I'm doing some lifestyle shopping. For example, I may be buying clothes. I may be buying, some white goods at Chroma or Reliance Digital or any of those. Yes. So these become eligible transactions for my eligibility for the Epicure membership. Now, an affluent customer who's already spending these, right? You have to only direct his mind towards these transactions, which makes it, you're only bringing awareness towards it. Yeah. Did I answer your question, Indrajit?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
one thing, like for online shopping, can they opt for Flipkart, Amazon sites?
I'm saying yes, no. I mean, he must be already shopping on a Flipkart or an Amazon.
Okay.
Right?
Okay, sir. Yeah.
Okay. I'll take the next question from Jatin. Jatin, you can unmute yourself. I think Jatin is finding it difficult to unmute. Jatin, if you're there, can you please unmute yourself and ask your question?
Am I audible?
Now I can hear you. Go ahead.
Sir, customer. So can we convert them into can we convert this priority account into a trust account, sir?
No, Jatin, I'm not able to really hear you. I mean, can you say it again, please? Please. I think probably something wrong with the network. I'm not able to hear you. Audio.
If the customer is already a priority customer and he demanded a trust account, so can we convert his priority account into a trust account by getting all the relevant documents?
No, you cannot change an account type, right? A savings account cannot get converted into a trust account, right?
Okay,
A
sir.
savings account is for an individual, right? A trust account is for a trust. There are completely two different types of account. One, we're talking about one, what I am talking to you about is a savings account, for example. A priority savings account. A trust is a current account. These are two completely different things. You can't change somebody's savings account into a transfer it into trust, basically. ऐसा नहीं होता. And the trust, you don't get any business credit for trust accounts. There are trust RMs that are there who will be, who will manage trust-related accounts, not priority RMs. All right. I'll move to the next question. Who's next? Shubham?
Hi, sir. Good morning.
Yes, sir.
Sir, I
good.
have a quick. Yeah, sir, I
Hi.
have a quick question.
Yes,
Sir,
sure.
this Epicure membership, which is complimentary, okay,
Hmm.
and this Club Vistara Forex card. In that Forex card, Club Vistara membership, okay. Sir, is it lifetime free for this customer, or is it just for 1 year?
Okay, so this a good question. Both of these are eligible only for 1 year. So when I take the Epicure membership, right, that membership is valid for 1 financial year.
Okay. Then
Okay.
it is chargeable, right?
After that, it is chargeable, but subsequent year, as long as I'm meeting that criteria, I will get the offer again from Axis Bank. Did you understand what I said?
The criteria is like 15 transactions in the next 3
Correct.
months.
Yes. So
Correct.
next
Okay.
year,
Yeah.
when I do these transactions again, I will become eligible back for the program.
Mhm. Okay. Just for example, sir, okay, in January, he has opened an account, okay, February,
Right.
March, April, okay, 3 months, he's doing the transaction, 15 transactions, okay, the listed transactions, he gets an Epicure
Correct.
membership, okay. This Epicure membership starts from May, okay, to next May, okay, 1 year, okay.
Right.
After it is over, again the customer, okay, has to do these 3 transactions, May,
That's
June,
correct.
July, August, correct? And then
Correct.
again then again he can apply for this, right? I mean, is he
Absolutely.
eligible for this? Okay, great.
Yes.
Got to know, sir. One more quick question, sir.
Yes.
This Aditya Birla
I have one.
insurance.
I have one point here, which I will tell you.
Yeah,
For
go
an
ahead, sir.
ETB customer, for an existing
Mhm.
to bank customer, we open this window only for specific months, basically.
Okay.
Okay, for a renewal of membership, basically.
Mhm.
All right. We will open it up only for 3 months for this customer, and within those 3 months, he has to do these transactions.
All right. And the customer will get a notification for that, right?
Yes.
That this is the 3 months you have to do the transaction.
Absolutely.
Okay, got it, sir. One more thing, one more question, sir. Quick question. We have Aditya Birla medical insurance, okay, worth
Health
1
Pro Infinity.
crore.
Health Pro Infinity,
right?
Yes.
Yeah, Health Pro Infinity. So, sir, this is free, complimentary, or the charges
No.
are
It is
to be bought to
chargeable. It
customer?
is the customer needs to pay for it. But what we've done is that we've brought him a program at a far reduced price than what he can get outside in the market. One. Number two is that particular plan has a huge host of benefits. See, ideally what happens is that when I apply for a health insurance from outside from the market, right, I will get some plan where we're having 1 or 2 things missing, basically. Maybe 1 odd thing missing from the entire program. Maybe dialysis is not covered. Maybe something else is not covered. If I go to somebody else, they'll say, no, I won't cover hip replacement, for example, for X period time, all of those kind of things. So what we've done is we've eliminated that clutter from this package. We'll provide you with all of the benefits in terms of health. Number one. Number two, at a slightly reduced price compared to the market. Now, question is, in your own mind, you should know that how much is the difference from a reduced price in the market. So that variation in a health insurance policy will not be greater than 1,000 to 2,000 rupees, basically, in terms of premium.
Okay, sir.
Right? It's not like something like, sir, actually, aap 5,000 rupees, 10,000 rupees bacha rahe ho iska. Nahi, because the price of the policy itself is about 19 to 20,000 rupees for 2 adults and 2 children combined together for 4 people, right? So if I'm paying 19 to 20,000 rupees for a between 40 to 45-year-old guy, then the actual benefit that I'm extracting, right? If I go out in the market, I'll be paying a premium for 21,000, 22,000. That's the difference, basically.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, just for your understanding, I'm not saying that go, there may be some policy which is available for 18 also, you might find. But what we're saying is that we have a fantastic plan. Number one, these are the benefits of the plan. This is the price of the plan approximately. And that plan and the price together as a combined benefit is far more superior than what you can get outside in the market.
Okay.
For you as relationship managers, you are the advisor, right? See, your job is to advise the customer which is the right plan, which will suit your need, right? So here you are coming across as a far more prepared guy. You have a very crisp conversation in terms of positioning the benefits. Number 3 is that you have a plan price, which is attractive.
Correct, sir.
Yeah. Does it answer your question?
Okay. Yeah, it does answer my question. Thank you, sir. The session was valuable.
Yeah, thanks. Santosh?
Hi, sir.
Hi,
sir, my
Santosh.
question is, I have opened a priority account through BYOD process. Okay.
Excellent.
So, but the InstaKit that I have given is something easy access or a debit card, not personalized, and it is the debit card. It was something saying easy access something. But I took from the BRO. They gave me this kit, which I believe that this is not a privilege card.
No, so have you opened the account with a non-priority InstaKit?
It's a non-priority InstaKit, yes.
But that is not correct. No, you should not be doing that. Because the customer will not get any benefits of the priority banking program.
Correct,
See,
sir,
all these benefits are linked to the priority debit card.
Yes, that's what my question is.
If I don't have a priority debit card, then what happens is that I will end up swiping and doing transactions, and I'll be non-eligible for all of these benefits.
Right, sir. Right, sir. So ये हो गया, मुझे पता नहीं था. Like I didn't know which kit. So I'm new. So I asked the BRO. They gave me the Insta kit. हाँ, ये भी हो जाएगा बोल के they have given me. So I've opened the account. But now I came to know that this is not the scene. So how do I get upgrade the debit card?
You have to ask the customer to request for an upgrade, basically. Now, what will happen is when he requests for a replacement of debit card, in that case, he will get charged 200 rupees, basically.
Replacement of a debit
card.
That
you will have to get it waived off at the branch level. You speak to your branch head and get it waived off.
Okay. So, मतलब customer के end से update कराना पड़ेगा या फिर from our end I have to
Customer will have to give a request, no? Because technically speaking, you can't push कि मैं upgrade कर देता हूँ उसका card. नहीं.
अच्छा. Okay. ठीक है. So priority का एक अलग Insta kit.
नहीं, but ये जो account खोला है आपने, जो account खोला वो priority scheme code में खोला है?
Priority scheme code में ही खोला है. लेकिन मुझे हमारे पास हाँ SBPVG.
अच्छा.
SBPVG में खोला है, लेकिन मुझे वही मतलब अभी मैं रिकॉल कर पा रहा हूँ कि हमने उसको एक नॉर्मल अकाउंट दिया हुआ है, मतलब इजी एक्सेस वाला कुछ डेबिट कार्ड दिया हुआ है. सो क्योंकि यहाँ पे ब्रांच में BRO लोग मैंने बोला उनको BRO कि गिव मी इंस्टा किट प्रायोरिटी, तो बोला कि हाँ ये भी चलता है. तो मुझे तो अकाउंट खोलना था.
But why will you ask a okay, all right, fair enough, whatever.
Custodian, हाँ. So since I am new, I was not aware of this. हाँ.
No problem. Do one thing quickly. First of all, get that educated to the customer. Bring it to the notice of your branch head. एक बार customer से भी बात कर लो and get this replacement done.
ठीक है. Account is activated.
It's better to be done earlier than later.
हाँ हाँ हाँ.
So sorry to interrupt. Same thing happened with me also. तो ब्रांच में ऐसा बोलता है कि वो आप अभी दे दो, बाद में फिर उनके पास चला जाएगा. जो प्रायोरिटी डेबिट कार्ड है वो फिर से चला जाएगा, मतलब उनको फिर से रिक्वेस्ट करने की जरूरत नहीं है. तो ये बोला गया हम लोगों को.
ऐसा नहीं होता ना. These cards are Okay, so I mean, I've given you the solution. We'll use that piece. I'll move to the next person. Mitesh.
हेलो.
Yeah, Mitesh.
हाँ नहीं सर, मैं बाजी बात करूँ सर. ये तो अकाउंट SBPBG अकाउंट ओपन करते इस टाइम में हमें उसमें न्यू कार्ड रखते हैं ना सर. ये कार्ड न्यू कितनी देने के बाद फिर से 1 वीक के बाद नया प्रायोरिटी कार्ड आ रहा है सर. डायरेक्ट उधर से आ जाए, रिक्वेस्ट करने की जरूरत नहीं सर. कस्टमर का आने बाद ये कार्ड.
But in this case, it's a non-priority account basically. It is not the debit card is not a priority debit card basically in this customer's case.
न्यू कार्ड रिसीव होता है सर कस्टमर को भी. नया कार्ड आ जाएगा 1 वीक में.
Mitesh, I'll have it checked up. I don't know if that is happening. I'll get it checked up.
Hello. Hello.
As long as it is opened on a priority InstaKit, there is no problem. But if it is opened on a non-priority InstaKit, I don't know if that.
USB किट देने के बाद वो अकाउंट ओपन एक्टिवेट होता है. फिर नया से 1 वीक में नया प्रायोरिटी डेबिट कार्ड कस्टमर को डायरेक्ट मेलिंग एड्रेस पे रिसीव हो रहा है.
Okay, I can have it checked up. I'm not.
Recently, I have opened 10 accounts. Same 10 SB new priority kits customer भी receive हो गए सर.
Okay, ठीक है. So that solves the problem. Then you don't need to request the customer in this case.
Yes,
okay, Mitesh, I'll just take one more question. We are already at 11:33. I will have to close the session now. I have something else that is already lined up. So I'll take one last question, Mitesh.
सर मेरा क्वेश्चन ऐसा है कि कोई कस्टमर शिफ्ट कर रहा है अपना बिजनेस फ्रॉम अदर बैंक विथ वर्किंग कैपिटल फैसिलिटी और हमारे पास उनका कोई रिलेशन नहीं है कासा, तो हम उनको एज अ प्रायोरिटी कस्टमर कर सकते हैं सर. बिकॉज ये कासा और अदर बिजनेस हम उनसे थोड़ा टाइम टू टाइम लेते हैं, बट अभी फिलहाल वर्किंग कैपिटल आ रहा है तो उसके अंदर हम कर सकते हैं उन्हें प्रायोरिटी.
तो उसके लिए कि यू विल हैव टू सी स्मॉल बिजनेस बैंकिंग टीम, यू विल हैव टू फर्स्ट understand what is the working capital limit that the customer has. So get your SBB team involved. SBB के लिए lead generate कीजिए, because customer will not open one more parallel current account with you, right?
Yeah.
So for that, you will have to migrate the entire relationship. Once they migrate the entire relationship on SBB, then you can open his savings account and group them under family banking.
Okay.
So you will get two benefits. Number one is in terms of OCS, in terms of loan, SBB loan disbursement, and you will get points in terms of the customer utilizing his limit. तो जैसे वो utilize करता है आपको points मिलेंगे उसके OCS points per lakh. That is one. Number two is you will get a benefit on the MDAP that the customer is also maintaining.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, sir.
So guys, I'll have to hold it here because I think I'm already busting my stipulated limit. We are at 11:34. In case you have any questions, you can please feel free to write to me. I will try and respond back to as many queries as possible. Yeah, but I hope this session was comprehensive enough, and I hope you guys enjoyed. I certainly did, enjoy speaking to you guys and bringing this to you. And thank you so much for the lovely interaction.
Thank you so much, Abhishek.
Thank you, Saraswati.
Yeah, we will now break for a 15